Did you know that the average working professional changes careers 3 to 7 times in their life? That's a lot of learning. And with technology changing so rapidly, now more than ever, there is a focus on creative critical thinking skills as you figure out the next big questions of what do you want to be when you grow up. So, what does all of this have to do with you? As you gear up for graduating college, you're probably exploring how the heck to land a well-paying job, positively impacting communities, and still have a work-life balance. Stick around as we unpack the secrets to landing a great job right out of college. I'm Haleigh Jinkins, coach at Learn Grant Writing and founder of Golden Owls Grant Writing. And today I'm going to share with you how I landed a job as a grant writer for a nonprofit right out of college. So, how can you get a job as a grant writer right out of college? I'll show you my top 3 tips that helped me. But first, let's talk about how I got here. If you're looking to get into grant writing without prior experience and not accruing more student debt, check out this training we've linked below just for you. A few months before graduating college, I felt like the world was my oyster, but also had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, until I had an internship that turned into a career. My involvement in the nonprofit world began as a passion for animal rescue. I joined the board of a foster-based animal rescue as a 20-year-old ready to make a difference. I spent my weeks working as a barista while in school full-time, and my weekends fostering animals and trapping feral cats to get them fixed. Of course, I had to find a way to make a career out of my passion. I decided to pursue my bachelor's in public management with a nonprofit leadership concentration. I learned about grant writing as a career and was immediately hooked. A lot of times I get asked, do you need to have a degree in grant writing? Short answer, no. But it does serve you well to get professionally trained so that you don't make costly mistakes and take years learning the hard way. I'll share more about how I got my specialized grant training in a bit. Back to my career journey. So I took a leadership course through my local United Way where I got to connect with local organizations and learn about my community's greatest needs. Part of graduating from the course was interning on the board of directors for a partner agency. I was paired up with a domestic violence shelter where I currently serve as the vice president. My college advisor helped me find local nonprofits that needed my help, and I ended up volunteering to write my first grant application for a women's shelter, and later interning for an organization that works with adult human trafficking survivors. This organization ended up hiring me straight out of college, and this turned out to be a defining moment in my grant writing career. I want to highlight here, you do not need to volunteer your time to write grants starting out. This worked for me since I was seeking internship opportunities as a college student with no real-world experience to speak of. There's absolutely no shame in volunteering, but in the Global Grant Writers Collective, we teach you steps on how you can get paid to learn even if you've never written a grant before. You can check out how to make your first $15K freelance grant writing without prior experience in this video here. While I was an in-house grant writer for the anti-human trafficking organization, I discovered Learn Grant Writing. I bought How to Write a Grant and poured over the book, watched the YouTube videos, and eventually won a $30K grant from a brand new to us funder to help support salaries. This was huge for us since we had a smaller budget of around $150K a year. Eventually, after side hustling for about 6 months, I left my role at the nonprofit, invested in my grant writing consulting business full-time, and became an official member of the Global Grant Writers Collective. I've been at this for 2 years now, working with over 20 different organizations, including the nonprofit from my previous role, and winning over $2 million in grant funding for my clients. So, what did I learn from these experiences? What would I have done differently knowing what I know now? First of all, never take advice from someone who isn't where you want to be. This is a lesson that Meredith has highlighted in the collective more than once, and it rings true for me every time. I had well-meaning family and friends who wanted the best for me, wanted me to have high-paying government jobs, trying to get me interviews other places after I had already accepted my first job after graduation. They had the best intentions, but I wouldn't have experienced the things I needed to in order to get to where I am now had I not worked as an in-house grant writer for this wonderful organization that I was passionate about. I wouldn't have had the room to build my business while being an in-house grant writer. I'm glad I ended up doing what set my heart on fire while growing in other opportunities. Lesson number 2 is I DIY'd a lot. I was a classic lurker and scoured the LGW YouTube, Meredith's book, and other resources, which only got me so far. What was I missing? The community aspect. Sure, we can DIY for a little while to get some momentum, but what's unique about the LGW Collective is the community group. We have members with different levels of experience and areas of expertise all over the world. It's truly a magical bonus when it comes to accessing the grant writing and business curriculum. And lastly, I'm going to hit you with 3 things you can do today to land a job out of university. Lesson 1, find out what you like to do, what excites you and sets you apart from other consultants in the space. Don't be afraid to experiment and see how you can get plugged into nonprofits that interest you while you're in school. Lesson 2, start building your network today. Is there a nonprofit in your community that you're interested in? Reach out and start forming connections. You never know where being genuinely curious will lead you. Keep track of contact information and follow up with these leads while you're making moves into the real world. Creating this lead database is something that we teach in the Global Grant Writers Collective too. Lesson 3, choosing your path. In-house versus consulting. I've learned that the journey isn't the same for everybody. It may be more comfortable for you as a new graduate to work within an organization first. This was the case for me, and I ended up gaining skills and knowledge to boost my confidence in these roles for about a year and a half before branching out on my own. But I want you to know that I see members of the collective all the time pursue this field with no prior grant writing experience. It's definitely not impossible to become a consultant right out of college. Another question we get a lot, am I too young to be a grant writer? The answer is a resounding no. I started right out of college and so did Meredith. You aren't too young to start. I want you to understand that learning and implementing a new skill is less about age and more about processes. If your hesitancy is a matter of imposter syndrome, and I've been there, it's crucial that you find the right mentorship program to build your competency and your confidence. You can check out this video on the best grant writing courses to take this year, but whatever course you take should also offer ongoing support and help you land a paying job. So to review, we talked about my journey from college to landing my first grant writing job. Each step from local involvement to academic pursuits played a vital role. Volunteering and interning gave me a ton of experience, landing me my first job in a field I continue to be passionate about. We also talked about the 3 most important steps I learned about along this journey. 1, find out what you like to do. 2, start building your network today. And 3, choose whether or not you want to work in-house or start your own business. Be sure to check out this next video linked below just for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.